Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 9, 2024, and in this video we will talk about the brand new visa bulletin for August 2024. We will compare it to the previous July 2024, which is still active because we are still in July. I will briefly explain in this video how to read the visa bulletin, so if you have not seen one of this video, you will definitely be able to understand which graph to look at, which category, which chargeability area, what the priority dates, and so forth. Before beginning this video, I'm going to mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources. In this case, travel.state.gov, which is official government website for US Department of State, their Bureau of Consular Affairs. So let's open up August 2024. Let's open up July 2024. We will briefly go over what we are looking at in the visa bulletin, and there are 4 family preference categories with 2 subcategories in one of the categories. I'll briefly go over them. There are 2 graphs that we will be looking at: final action dates, dates for filing, and of course there are 4 chargeability areas, separate countries, and then the rest of the world. The 5th chargeability area is for everybody else. So unless you are from China, India, Mexico, or Philippines, you are looking at all chargeability area graph. Now, final action dates, graph A, is for everyone who wants to see the length, the total length of the backlog for each individual family preference category, in particular chargeability area. So if you want to see, approximate how long it will take before your priority date becomes current and you get your interview scheduled for your immigrant visa, you are looking at the graph A. Also, if you are already documentarily qualified and you are ready for your interview, you are looking at the graph A. Now, graph B, dates for filing, is for everyone who wants to know when their NVC portal is going to be opening up. So, if you are not documentarily qualified yet and you want to find out when you can start your documentary qualification process, you are looking at the graph B. Now, there are 4 family preference categories. There is F1, unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens, sons and daughters over 21, that is unmarried. There's a second family preference categories with F2A and F2B, F2A being spouses and children under 21 of permanent residents, F2B being unmarried sons and daughters 21 years of older, again unmarried of permanent residents. There's third family preference category, F3, married sons and daughters of US citizens, and there's fourth family preference category, brothers and sisters of US citizens. Okay, let's start the comparison. If you have any questions along the way, drop them in the comments below, and I do Q&A videos on this channel where I go through all of the comments and I answer them in the Q&A videos. So I'll try to get to that in a timely manner. So this is July 2024. I'm going to scroll it down to right here, graph A, and I'm going to open up August 2024, brand new. I have not done that comparison myself yet, so it's new to me as well. I'm going to highlight on July F1, sons and daughters over 21 of US citizens, and I'm going to highlight for August. And let's see if we can see any movement. All right, so doesn't look like there is any movement for F1. Unfortunately, for F1 category, there is no movement whatsoever from July to August. As you can see, it is all the same numbers. So yeah, unfortunately nothing. Let's move on to the F2A. I'm gonna highlight F2A July, and I'm gonna highlight F2A for August. This is August 2024, and let's see if there is any movement for anyone in F2A, any chargeability areas in F2A. Wow, no movement whatsoever for F2A either. Really no movement at all. Wow, that does not look good. Okay, let's highlight F2B, see what's going on for F2B. I expected better from August, honestly, a lot better from August visa bulletin. This is not looking good so far. Let's see F2B. So for all chargeability, we are on 1st May 16 First May 16 on July, May 16 for China, May 16 for India, Mexico. Wow, there's a movement of 7 days for Mexico and no movement for Philippines. Just 7 days for Mexico. Yeah, this is not looking good. F3. Let's look at the F3 category. No movement whatsoever for the F3, and it doesn't look like there is anything for F4 either. Wow, that is really bad. That is really bad. F4, and if you watched any of the videos on this channel, you know that I personally am looking at F4 because I have a petition myself for my brother, and there is no movement whatsoever for F4 either, for none of the chargeability areas. So it looks like there was only 7-day movement for Mexico, the whole month. In a whole month, only 7 days movement for one chargeability area. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty horrible. Let's move on to the graph B and see if there is any movement for the graph B. I'm gonna scroll it down on the same level. This is July, this is August, moving the same line. There we go. I'm gonna highlight for August. All chargeability goes on September 17. All chargeability for F1 on September 17. China September 17. India September 17. Mexico April 05. Philippines April 15. So no movement for F1 on graph B. Let's look at the F2A category. F2A, whoops, wrong page. F2A is highlighted in August. F2A is highlighted in July. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so there is a decent movement for F2A, and looks like from July it moved from November 2023 to June 2024. That is the movement of November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So approximately 6-7 months movement ahead for F2A on the graph B, which means that if you are in F2A category and have not yet been documentarily qualified, you can expect your NVC portal opening up a lot sooner, 6 months, 7 months sooner than you previously thought. So that's definitely good news for everyone in F2A category. Unfortunately, still no movement for the availability of the immigrant visa on the graph A, but at least something decent out of this visa bulletin. Wow, this is quite embarrassing. July, China, November 23, same movement for China, same movement for India, same movement for Mexico, same movement for Philippines. So for everyone in F2A category who is not documentarily qualified, at least good news for you guys from this visa bulletin. All right, let's move on to F2B, see if there is any movement for F2B. And F2B, let's see if there's any movement. So in July we have January 17, all chargeability, China January 17, India, Mexico May 05, Philippines October 13. So no movement whatsoever for anyone in F2B, unfortunately. Let's look at the F3. Looks like there is some kind of movement for F3 category. Interesting. All right, let's see what's going on here. So from July, we have October 2010, all chargeability area. And for August, we have January 2011. So that's the movement of October, because it's 1st October, November, December, January. So like 3-4 months movement ahead. Okay, pretty good. And let's see for China. The same thing for China, the same thing for India. Unfortunately, no movement for some reason for Mexico, and no movement for Philippines. So for whatever reason, graph B, it moves for China, India, and the rest of the world, but not for Mexico and Philippines for F3 category. F4, let's take a look at F4 and see if there is any movement for F4. All chargeability area is on March 2008 in August, is on March 2008 in July. China March 2008, India June 06, Mexico April. Okay, so there is a movement of 2 days for Mexico. Wow, 2 days, the whole month, 2 days. Still better than no movement, I guess. And no movement for Philippines. So yeah, unfortunately August 2024 is quite a disappointment, I would say, would be for most people. It's somewhat good news for people in F2A category and F3 category who are not documentarily qualified yet. You can expect your documentarily qualification, your NVC portal opening up a bit sooner. But still at the end of the day, there is no movement for graph A, for the availability of the immigrant visas for the priority days becoming actually current. So still, yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I am at this point not sure what is causing these delays. The Department of State, they had a good excuse with this whole pandemic and closures, the embassies being closed, but we are way past that, and we are moving now more and more away, and we are experiencing still no movement. Graph A, no movement whatsoever. Was there any movement? Yeah, there was movement for Mexico, and that was 15 days. Yeah, no, it was 7 days for Mexico. This is it. This is what I'm talking about for F2B category, and that's really it. So that's the availability of the immigrant visas. That's the backlog. So unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and I can personally relate. Like I said, I have a petition myself. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel in the first place, because I am an immigrant and I went through all of these steps, and some of the steps I am still going through. So if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. Like I said, I do Q&A videos on this channel pretty regularly, at least 2-3 times a week, and I go through all of the comments and I answer the questions. But well, yeah, hopefully we will see better news in September, I guess. But as of right now, not much anything good, unfortunately. So hopefully this was helpful, and thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.